Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hello.
A little bit of a late start for us today, but market did just open. We've been off for a little while here. G-Save, what up? What up? I know, Scrooge. Sorry, you gotta blame my kids. I had to drop them off at the babysitter, and we got a bunch of snow. The roads aren't very good. Everybody's driving slow. I was running a little late, so sorry about the delay. So yeah, I'm a little late to the charts today, so I'm kind of just getting my bearings here and seeing what the market's looking like. How are you? How's everybody doing, chat? Are you guys watching anything today? How about you, Brian? Have you taken any trades yet today?
I took some, but I think I've been really making up for some small losses that I took during early London. I got sort of stopped out of a few trades, so and then gold had some pretty good runs. So it's kind of disappointing, I could have been way ahead today, but instead I'm kind of breaking even.
That's always frustrating.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I'm what Nas has been in a downtrend the last few days here. We've gotten some decent moves down really since we had the big move down during FOMC back before Christmas in December, and then we traded, I think it was the 2 days after, not the day after, but the second day after FOMC, and caught some longs. The market rallied really strong on that Friday, but since then the indexes have been pretty weak. Kind of that week, we had a few days before Christmas there, and then after Christmas and between New Year's, the Nasdaq and the rest of the indexes have been kind of downtrending here. So it's been a little bit of trickier action. We've had, there's been some longs, there's been some shorts, but the better, larger moves have been to the short side recently. I do have some support that we're sitting at right now. In the pre-market, Nas spiked below yesterday's low. Here, this was, I think, yesterday's low is right around there, and we rallied back up above it, but we'll see if we hold here. If we can get a trend below yesterday's low, I would be open to some shorts. Brian, too, if you want to pull your screen up so you can show anything too. I noticed you didn't have it up.
Yeah.
So this was if we're looking at the Nasdaq, this was the day we were at all-time highs. FOMC announcement came out. We got this big red candle there. The following day, we kind of had a consolidation day towards its lows. And then in the pre-market before the New York session, we had this move down lower. And then when the New York session opened, we rallied. And so that's the last day that we streamed. We had a couple green days after that. And then you can see it's been pretty red, a little bit of rally. So we're kind of, if you're a trend line type of person, we kind of have a little bit of this, a little bit of a channel forming here, you could say. Which, I mean, overall in the grand scheme of things could be, could end up just kind of being some daily consolidation, a bit of a daily bull flag for a continued move higher. Or, we could obviously break down lower. So I'm open to either direction today. Right now, Nas is holding the lower support levels. But I'm going to give it a few more minutes before I look to enter anything, I believe.
And on the gold side, let's see. Did you mention FOMC? The FOMC minutes are coming out later today, so gold kind of grinded higher.
Yeah, I actually haven't looked at gold in a while.
Yeah, but it's limiting itself, it looks like, probably because of those meeting minutes coming out in a few hours. I took this actually, this is really, you got my screen up there yet? This
Yeah,
is
it's up. Yep.
bump up, man. You could even take this on a old fashioned. See, this is a 15-minute chart, but you could take that. I've been getting more into just making basic trend lines. I was reading an old book of day trading when I used to trade the stock market, and I was really big into trading trend lines,
Mhm.
and trend lines on the 15-minute, 30-minute charts, that kind of thing, sort of like this, and just waiting for that basic breakout.
Yeah.
And can't remember the author's name of that book, but it really doesn't matter what book you pick up on stuff like that. It's just about,
Yeah, pulling something from every everything you, I guess, kind of learn or read about, or I think you can take a piece of something and add it to your
yeah,
knowledge database,
yeah.
and see how you can implement it for you and your trading and that kind of thing. But
I'm talking.
trend lines, obviously
Mhm.
there are trend lines for a reason, right? I mean, I know
There's
a lot of
gen.
people think that they're like a too oversimplified way to trade, but
Yeah,
I think it's doable.
the most successful traders are the most simplest
Yeah.
of strategy holders. But
Hmm.
when before we started the stream today, I was mentioning I did some trading earlier, and I exited this trade. I don't know if my screen's. Let me enlarge that some. This is my disappointment on this trade. I think I jumped out somewhere in here for some reason, and I hate to say this because I'm probably speaking with emotion right here. I felt, and that's a horrible word, felt like
Hmm.
this gold was not going to surpass 2660 right there. I think because that was sort of the average of this consolidation over here. Um, I just didn't think it was going to make it. Uh, I felt like it was getting pumped up because I think we had good numbers today on the, what was the news release? I'm already,
Yeah, there was something this morning. It was
ADP, non-farm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But more importantly, when the market really, started to move quick on gold was when the unemployment claims came out. And they came out much lower than the forecast. And on top of that, they were even lower than the previous numbers. So unemployment claims down, gold just got rocking, and I just jumped out. I was like, that's could drive up the USD, that could counter gold downwards, and it just shot up, man. Like
Yeah.
what, 50 more pips or something. So I'm, but I never do that. Fear of missing out. I that's young Brian. I don't do that nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know.
I was gonna say I can definitely, I still feel the FOMO sometimes.
But let me give you the bigger story, and this is really short. So during the Christmas holidays, I did some trading because gold was moving like really wild, and um, I think the account I was showing before we broke for holidays, before we broke from the live stream,
Yeah.
um, it was 100K account. I know it was over 100, and I wanted some goal of like, I never like to set dollar amount goals. I want 1,000 a day, but it's nice to
Mhm.
have some kind of. I think it's good to have some kind of delusional goals that you might get a delusional great payout one day.
Yeah, yeah.
However, it was a great market, but I would like go up 3 grand, down 3 grand, up three. I kept going back and forth during the holidays, and the darn thing then went under 100K. Um, so it's just below 100 right now. Uh, So I should not have traded that account during the holiday. I thought it was moving really, really well, and it was just, it would do grand candlesticks up and then backfire back down on you. So if I think a lot of strategies would have got shook out.
I'm watching Nas for potential long. I think I'm gonna try it. See if we can hold this support. A little bit of an early entry, but I'll show you guys just where I'm in at and where my stop's at. So it started working out a bit as soon as we got it. We'll see if it can hold. I don't have them marked up right now, but I have a couple levels here on the NAS chart, which if I would mark them, they're somewhere. Let's see. So I have a support level there and a support level here. Those two white lines are where I have a couple levels here. So we came down and tested the lower level. We're starting to bounce, so I decided to give it a shot here. We held under yesterday's low once. Looking at the daily chart, wouldn't shock me if this acted as a little bit of a daily pullback. And if this daily can kind of close with a hammer, continue that move back up towards these highs later this week. So we'll see. I don't know why I keep saying I was like editing some of the clips playing it back, and I like hated that about myself. I'm like saying every time. So I'm up 120 bucks right now. The risk I have on this trade, I think is about $200. Yeah, $200. $200 is the risk I have on this trade. I'm in with 0.05 lots. We are currently rejecting the opening print. If you've watched the streams before, you know I use the New York opening print. So this is our 930 candle. So the open of this candle would be our opening print. So above the opening print, this looks a lot better to me. But right now we're getting a pretty decent rejection off of that.
Do we have any updated word on futures being deployed by FunderPro?
I saw something today where it was something on the website that they're finalizing. I would imagine it's super soon. I don't know the exact day or anything like that yet, but Greg asked about Ronit. I'm not 100% sure he says his name, Ronit. I know who you're talking about. He did an interview with Gary. I'm not like one. I don't know where his accounts stand, but I did see a certificate the other day about like how much his payouts last year. He definitely did really well. He definitely got a bunch of payouts. So as far as I know, he didn't blow his account. I have no reason to think he did. He just hasn't. He hasn't ever streamed with us. He did the. Scrooge wants me to bring up gold. Yeah, I can pull it up real quick. Islam, I just don't trade gold. I never really have. I started my trading career in the options field, which when you trade options, you'll oftentimes look at the indexes as well, because the stocks that you're looking at, the indexes are made up of groups of those stocks. So I just my whole trading kind of career. I've been in the I started with the options stock worlds, and then when I came into trading, I started trading futures then and Forex as well. But I always just stuck to the indexes with Forex. I have no issue with gold, and Brian does trade gold. That is what Brian trades. It's just not what I trade. Rolling your eyes at me, bro? What are you rolling your eyes at me for? Doobie says he's also an options buyer in the Indian market. Yeah, I've heard some people doing that 4 hour. So Scrooge wants me to bring up gold. Let me pull up gold real quick. This NAS trade, we did get back up above the opening print with a 5-minute close above. So I do like that. But I'm definitely aiming for a little higher here. before I would look to take any trims or anything like that. Gold.
Gold.
All right,
You know,
4 hour.
nah. Well, who said Scrooge, right? Scrooge is on a 4
Scrooge,
hour
yeah,
long.
he said on the 4 hour with a 200 moving average, if you think back to Al Brooks' 200 MA trade. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely looks bullish. Looks like if we can break above this 4 hour resistance you have here, which we tested it once, rejected, but I think the fact that we rallied back and we're now testing it again gives a little bit something I use is like the knock theory. The more something knocks, like the more likely it's going to break, right? If it keeps knocking on a certain price level over and over and over again, more than likely it's going to break. And the more times it knocks, it breaks with more, more power. So if we look at that same resistance on like a 1 hour, I would imagine we probably have more, see multiple tests where this is, well, I guess same thing, but yeah, I think this looks good for a breakout personally.
On gold, speaking
Yeah,
of,
but I don't know what Brian's thoughts are. He definitely has a bit of, I mean, that daily looks like a clean, pretty daily buy setup to me. We look like we could potentially be starting to flip the daily trend, putting in some higher lows and starting to tag some higher highs. So on a daily, from a daily perspective, I would love to see us start making a move back up to 2720. Brian, I hear you can give your thoughts, whatever your thoughts are.
I'm not showing anything on the screen really.
I just put it up.
No, it's fine. And that's the 15-minute chart there.
Okay.
But just speaking of only trading gold, like you mentioned, I trade gold. Dimitri Dimgem on FunderPro's Discord, he was given the award just recently for, I think, most payouts in 2024.
Yeah,
At
that sounds right.
At 105K, I believe. I was talking with him earlier today.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. He's done once an interview, an AMA with Gary and Christian, and I think he has his own YouTube channel lately. Doesn't give up a lot of his methods or strategy, but definitely the guy speaks on. I actually watched his stream for a while back. He just streams his trading live. And
does he like narrate it, or does he just have his screen up?
he narrates it.
Yeah.
Just has his screen up. That's all. But you can see him execute his trade, set his stop losses, take profits, take partials, reverse his trading. And something that caught my eye that's really interesting about him, but I kind of 100% agree with, is he doesn't get out of a trade necessarily fully until it invalidates itself to the other direction. So once, basically, he didn't tell me this, but this is what I picked up on.
Mm-hmm.
He will trade gold, say he's going long, right? He does not take profits. He makes that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes partials so that whenever it does reverse on him, he can at least have some bragging rights that he was in a correct trade.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's super tight stop losses, super tight.
Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen some of his ex posts with like screenshots and stuff where he uses real tight stops.
Yeah, and so I like the way he'll take. One of his positions will be the runner going for the long term on a trade, and when that trade invalidates itself as a long, he'll go short right in that moment a lot of times, and ride it back down. He has very, very intuitive, smart methods of knowing when it's going to turn. That I give that guy credit. So when he got that award and showed it today, I was impressed, but I didn't doubt it. It's like,
Yeah,
that guy
yeah,
can trade, man. And
yeah,
I just wanted to put it out there that the lead trader is trading gold only. I mean, he might dabble in a few other things, but he loves trading gold.
yeah.
So,
Abdul, I'm in Nasdaq longs right now. We are currently rejecting VWAP. I'm up. I was up a little over 1-to-1 R on this. I'm risking about $2, or I'm sorry, $200, and I was up about 125 bucks on this one. I like it if we can hold above the opening print, which is this yellow line. Like to see the daily chart on NAS close with a green hammer candle. Let me see the 15-minute chart. See if I have a little bit of a price target in mind. But yeah, Brian, I like to I'll scale out of my trades to kind of reduce risk, lock a little bit of profit, and trail my stop loss, and I'll also add back into that trade if I still think the long is valid. My target on this trade would be this pre-market high for my first target. If we can get there, up to 21,280s would be a good target. But right now we're rejecting that VWAP back underneath the opening print. Looking like we could get a failure here. Pretty ugly 2-minute candle.
and when I was talking to Dimitri on Discord today about his success, I was in the Discord for FunderPro, and I was looking at some stuff. There's a lot of people out there that question FunderPro's quality of payouts. Some still wonder if it's the legitimacy of the organization.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody denied a payout ever, because the profits come from the market.
Yeah,
Abdul, I'm sorry about the long, buddy. It's looking like a pretty harsh failure. We'll see if we can hold this level one more time, but it's looking like it wants lower right now. It's an ugly looking 5 minutes since we've opened.
Yeah. But if anybody's ever wondering about FunderPro's payout speed, Dimitri, or DimGem on Discord, just do a search on his name. He boasts on brags all the time about FunderPro and his payouts. He takes so many payouts, and he'll post them constantly. And 2 minutes. This took just 3 minutes, and just real fast payouts, and reminding people that FunderPro puts all funded account trade positions into an A-book at their broker, and that's got to be the most important selling point to anybody that's questioning joining FunderPro and taking on one of their evals.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you can. The payouts are definitely fast. I will 100% attest to that.
Yeah.
Abdul, where did you get in at, and where's your stop at? Are you still in? Very unusual spread on gold. Is the gold spread high today, Brian, more than normal?
Yes. Yeah. People were pinging me all morning about that. It seems higher than usual. I agree to that. It's disappointing. You enter a trade and you're instantly in a loss. I'm still getting used to that personally. I don't know if I've shared this enough over here, but I'm relatively new to Forex. I come from stocks.
Yeah.
And that's a trading that I still do. But, I wanted to try my hand at getting a funded account and do that over at FunderPro. Forex is a dirty game. You have spreads. you have a lot of offshore accounts throughout the world, and you have a lot of unregulated organizations out there that can rip you off. But I think that's what makes futures arriving to FunderPro lucrative, because it's a much more regulated market, and you
Yeah,
you do away with
just in
those
the
spreads,
chart
man.
pricing and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no spreads. I'm anxious for it. But I'm still adjusting to Forex. I got funded by FunderPro in July of 2024. Took a few payouts, nothing to brag about. Concentrated everything I learned while passing the challenge and getting a funded account. I took that knowledge and I put it into my own stockbroker, my stock account that I have a different broker. And I always tell people I admire FunderPro's rules on their challenges. I like to kind of employ that with my own capital trading that I do.
Yeah.
It's a very
Yeah, it's
successful way
good.
to
It's
go.
a good way to build those habits.
Yeah, but I have to admit, Forex trips me up sometimes. I'm not a fan of the spreads. I'm not a fan of the I've been ripped off before FunderPro. I got turned off of Forex by, so I'm not going to mention by what organizations, but man, they take your money and run.
Yeah, because there is spread in the live account as well.
Yeah, or you don't get your payout for a week or something like that.
Yeah, that's definitely definitely a reason to go with FunderPro. Your profits coming from the market. You can guarantee you're going to get them. You're going to get them quickly. Abdul, I have my stop. I don't know how easy this right here at 21,112.07. I just was kind of given a little bit of room underneath this level. We are getting a nice reaction back off this level again. We'll see if it can hold. This is the 2-minute, but ever since New York has opened, Nas is just stuck. We opened here, so we're just kind of stuck in this range right now. Failing the opening print again. But yeah, so we're just kind of stuck here. See if we can hold this low, but another opening print rejection is not ideal.
Bitcoin spread also insane. The spread on Bitcoin is, FunderPro uses regular broker floating spreads. That's another thing I hear people chatting in Discord. I saw a lot today. I had to catch up, and I did a lot of just skimming people's topics. A lot of people question the spreads at Funder, but the spreads are just floating. That's all. FunderPro does no manipulation of the spreads. Another myth that some wannabe traders, think is going on. It's all legit.
Yeah.
But it is disappointing.
200 points on Bitcoin. That's definitely not ideal. That's tough. Makes it trickier. It takes away a little bit of that edge that you get, I think, right? That's why.
Yeah.
Another reason. So somebody asked about why I don't trade gold or anything. Another reason I trade the indexes is, spread's so tight you can barely tell. The spread is $1 or $2. Compared to something like Bitcoin, where it's 200.
Something that I'm looking forward to when FunderPro sets up their futures trading is platinum.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring up platinum right quick.
Abdul, I like the 5-minute close. Let's see if we can get a breakout. We got 2 15-minute dojis to start the day for the New York session, but we're testing this OP again. Let's see if we can break. But I'm starting to lower my expectations a little bit on the day. But yeah, when we open New York with a 15-minute doji and a 15-minute doji, that's not real fun price action so far. But if we can break it to the upside, I like us to at least go test pre-market highs. Here, Brian, I'll throw your screen up.
I brought up platinum. It's under the code XPT. My point was simply going to be, once, you can make any spread look light, right? But platinum trades a lot like gold. So it creates it on a chart, looks like about like that, which simply means if you go to a 5 or 15 minute chart and separate these by 956, 958, 960 by a two-digit placement, you get a very similar chart to gold, very similar patterns. And platinum will follow. You can, for example, draw a trend line like I did a moment ago. And platinum is a very smooth, very lightly traded metal. But here's what FunderPro has going for itself right now. If they include platinum in futures trading, like most futures platforms do, this spread can go away. That's a huge spread. So I've never taken a platinum trade here, but I can go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak bad about FunderPro because here we are on their FunderProTv. But I'm bragging that when they get futures, I think FunderPro is going to be the place to be for a lot of people. You're going to see issues like this go away. That's an ugly spread right there. I mean, that almost reminds me of certain cryptocurrencies. When a spread is almost equivalent to the ATR,
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, come to FunderPro if you don't believe in them. Try them out when they get futures. I'm gonna be rocking it. I hope to show payouts, and I hope to do better than Dimitri in 2025.
There you go, baby.
So I'm shooting for millionaire status by December.
So I'm up $300 on this trade. Like I said, $200 of risk on. So we're at 1.5 R right now. I have 0.05 lots. So I'm going to look to take a trim if we get a little bit higher here. If we get to about 2 to 1, 2 to 1 risk to reward, I'll probably take a small piece off here. See if we can go tag this pre-market high. So I'm up 2 to 1 R right now, $415. Give me a little more, baby. Brian and I were talking about this. You gotta speak, you gotta whisper sweet nothings to the charts. I like it for the breakout. It looks pretty good. If this fails, I may just exit at break even, to be honest with you. Because this breakout should get a little continuation if we're gonna make a move higher. If it fails, I don't have an interest in staying long. So I'm actually gonna move stop to break even, I think. Abdul, did you make some money, bro? Said he was still in.
Nice.
Come on, baby. Give me a little more. Give me a little more follow through. I'm going to take 2 of the 5 off on another pop here. We get it.
Abdul's still
Nice,
in.
bro. Nice.
Yeah.
$1,050. Good stuff, dude.
What size account is that on, Abdul?
Give me a little more. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, Lee. All the indexes putting in a pretty strong 5-minute bar. I think we see a little higher.
Let's see.
Little retest of VWAP from above and proceed on our mission.
Which instrument were you talking about, Tyler, that you referred to a knock, knock, knock?
That was gold on the 4 hour, I think.
Okay.
Or the 1 hour and 4 hour I was looking at.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I'm, of course, looking at that.
How's gold looking? Has it moved higher? I know
It's,
the 15-minute looked like it was getting maybe a little bit exhausted to the upside, that it could use a pullback, but
gold is lingering on its 4 hour
okay, so yeah. I think when you first looked at it, it was like up here. This is the 5-minute, but the 15-minute looked like it needed a pullback. So it looks like we got a little 15, 20-minute pullback here, and then a strong 5-minute. I don't know if Scrooge, I don't know if you're in that long still. I lost my 25K to draw down. I wasn't paying attention. That's a bummer. Are you still in that gold long, Scrooge, or did that gold pullback get you? That's a bummer, because it looks like it's going to keep going if it was the gold pullback that got you. Oh, Naz, come on, Naz. Oh, come on. That 15 minutes starting to look. Woo. Need this 2-minute to hold the OP. Just a little bounce on the OP. Nah, come on, rally. No, don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. All right, hold the OP, baby. Come on. Hold the OP. Give me a little bit higher. Let me get 500 smackers at least. 10 of 7. About 40 minutes into the day so far. Andrew, view on gold. I'm bullish on gold. I think the 1 hour and 4 hour looks like it has some room for higher. I think the daily chart looks like it could be flipping the daily trend. So I would say I'm bullish on gold. I don't know what Brian's thoughts are, but I'm a with trend kind of guy. I like to trade with the trend. And right now, I think the trend on gold is up.
If I was still in the trade, I would be definitely long right now. It's right where I would have had my last runner position, just riding it out till invalidation. But right now, I'm watching it really tight to see when it's going to do a potential reversal. If it goes up and breaks above the 4 hour key level, I might look for a candlestick to enter on. I don't know. Gold is, again, we have, in 4 hours, the FOMC meeting minutes. And too many times I've seen gold stall out the closer we get to that. Speaking of trading time, tomorrow is a New York closure day due to a presidential funeral. Did we lose Tyler?
Hey, I'm back. Apparently,
You're back.
For a
Welcome back.
Let me get my screen back up. Trade locker hasn't reloaded yet. We need to shut it down. There we go. Well, I just took the stop at break even. Please remove consistency. It's only for it's only for the challenge phase, the consistency roll clause. And like we talked about earlier, FunderPro A books you. So they don't want people getting funded off of a lucky trade essentially. So that's why the consistency rule is in place. They got to kind of protect their A book funding more than some of these other prop firms that give you simulated funds to trade on. They don't necessarily care if you get funded with a lucky trade. They think you're gonna fail the account before you get a payout anyway. With FunderPro, they make it a little bit harder to get funded, but then once you do, anything over $50 on day one, you can take a withdrawal. It's about as good as a withdrawal option as you could expect. Typically, only high impact news is restricted news. Doobie, but if the news that you're actually not allowed to trade is the restricted news from FunderPro. If it's not listed as restricted news, then you can trade it. Well, we're getting another failure on NAS. I'll be honest with you, part of me thinks we hold here again and keep ranging. This is feeling like a range day, but I don't know if I want to re-enter longs or look to flip short. I'm torn. And if stop and break even, I didn't take profits. I thought we'd get a little bit higher. I got a little greedy. I said to you guys, if I get 2 to 1, I'm going to take a small trim. I got 2 to 1, and I wanted a little more. I never took the trim. We did stab new lows during the New York session, and we're battling this lower level here again. Part of me wants to long it again. Part of me wants to let it break down and look for a potential lower high to short. Decisions. I'm going to stay a little patient, see what happens. Shorting is not my strong suit. I've had a couple of shorts over the last 2 days that I did not hold well. That would have worked out really well.
Is that for a regular account or a swing account?
Ooh. Are you asking me or somebody in the comments?
Yeah, I'm asking you on that.
This one is a regular account. I have a swing challenge too. But this one's the regular. But even on my futures account too that I trade, yesterday I had a good short on NASDAQ like overnight, and I ended up holding it and getting stopped. And then I wanted to re-enter during New York, and I hesitated, and I missed the move down yesterday. I don't know why. Like for some reason, my mind it trusts an uptrend, but for some reason it struggles to trust a downtrend. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just the way my brain is wired for some reason. Clearly we're in an overall downtrend in NAS. But I tend to look for longs for some reason, and I get skeptical. Like even now, I'm like, all right, I want to rally to a lower high to short, but I don't trust it. I almost feel like the short feels too obvious to me. I'm like, oh, well, and so then I avoid it because it feels too obvious, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It always looks like it's about to go down.
Shorting is just not my strong suit. It's just not.
Man, back in my stock trading days,
for sure, Doobie, I'm a buyer. Yeah, definitely, bro.
I was a pattern day trader on the stock market years ago, and I never took a short. Never.
Yeah. Well, Doobie said that's because you trade stocks, and part of that is I agree. Like if you look at, you know, majority of stocks that are, you know, with decent companies, and you look at the indexes, like and you look at a curve, equity curve over time, the system's essentially rigged to continue to bring more liquidity into the market and keep buying these companies higher and higher and higher. So I just like longs just make more sense from a longer term perspective. Now, obviously, when you're day trading, I think either one. When you're just
I
looking
was
for
day
intraday
trading.
moves, I think either one are obviously options. It's just the way my brain works. For some reason, I just I see the longs better. Sam was talking about inverting my charts, but then I'm like, I think about that. I'm like, then I'm going to start missing the longs, and that's what I'm good at. You know what I mean?
Oh, brother. Yeah. Yeah. Or forget that you have a certain direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, let me give advice to everybody. If you really, really suck at trading, invert your screen and do what you would do regular. That means you'll start
Yeah. Yeah.
winning.
Wait till the new year return.
I think it's like Alt-I or something like that.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, maybe a couple weeks ago, Brian, the time limit on trading. I want to get some clarity on that.
The time limit.
Like
what's the
hold on, let me go back. I just clicked away. Dreams from God said, recently I got bumped off my challenge because I wanted to wait till the new year to return. I thought you could take as long as you wanted. I'm sure some technicality was in the fine print. And
were you?
We talked about that, and I can't remember, because I remember at one point in time on one of the AMAs them talking about how you could only have 200K worth of live capital at a time, but if you had another challenge that you could like leave, you know, pass it, whatever, and leave it like in the waiting or whatever. But then somebody else, I think, mentioned something about, yeah, there is some time limits. I gotta look into that and find out what the actual rules on that are.
Well, I'll tell you right now. I got an email from FunderPro over the holidays that said your account's about to get lost or shut down because you have not traded in X amount of days.
Okay, so yeah, there's obviously some sort of
which
so who dreams from God, I don't know if they sent you that email or not. But if you didn't get an email that like gave you a warning that your account was going to get shut down, I would reach out to support. I would say you have a valid argument then.
Yeah. Now in FunderPro's terms and conditions on section 8.4.1, you will see that, no, it's 8.4 in general, but if the customer has successfully entered and closed at least one position within 30 days. So if an account remains inactive without closing a trade for more than 30 days, it will be disabled.
30 days?
30 days, yeah.
Doobie, if you want to get better at shorts and switch to Forex because one country can't always go up, referring to their currency. I agree with you on this. The reason I don't trade Forex is because I think there's less of an edge because of that reason. That's why another reason why I like to trade the indexes. I think being a long preferred trader on the indexes is a bit of an edge in and of itself. All right, now we're testing the levels from underneath here. For some reason, I don't trust the fact that we dump again today. I don't know why. But if I'm gonna long, I'm gonna let us rally and set a potential higher low. And if I'm gonna short, I'd like to see a potential lower high off this level. I'd like the 5-minute to stab above this high, and then start to fail the previous 5-minute high. I don't want to just hop in short right here. So what I mean by that is I'd like to, if I was going to get short, I'd like to see this 5-minute test above this 5-minute high and then fail. It's a bit of an inverted hammer. And then I would have been interested in entering on a break below that low. But I don't know if it's going to give me what I want. So I'm going to stay hands off for right now.
Oh, NAS is so. See, this is where I would. I switched. Well, I have one of my charts open to NAS. This is where I would short, man.
This is where you would short. No, I think the shorts are super valid right now. I just don't want to, like, I'm underneath the levels. I just would like to see a certain kind of type of price action play out before I get in. I'm looking for something specific, which is probably why I miss shorts, because I'm always way more willing to just take a stab at the long. SPX is under yesterday's low. So is NAS. We're still not. NAS still hasn't broken its pre-market low.
Okay, I'm doing the unthinkable here.
Uh-oh. What are you doing?
You don't want to see.
Oh boy, what are you doing?
I strayed away from gold, so
Are you on
I feel
NAS
like
right now?
there's
You
a
shorted? Are you shorted? Let's
yes.
go. I like it. I like it.
I feel like there's a cross burning on my chest right now.
No. I think, like I said, I think the shorts were under yesterday's low. We're in a downtrend. We're underneath levels I have. It really does all line up. It really does. I just wanted a 5-minute sell setup to trigger, which I haven't gotten yet. You could technically say, so for the way I look at price action here, let me put this back up real quick. So I like to enter my trades off of stuff that I call a buy setup or a sell setup.
Hey, first off, before you get into that, if I lose my ass on this trade, I'm going to kill you.
Don't blame me. I didn't enter the shorts, all right?
No, but you talk so much about NAS 100 that you make me jealous. So I want some of the action. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. But so when I'm looking for shorts, a sell setup would be, if you look at a 2-minute, I would consider this to be a 2-minute sell setup, because we broke above this 2 minutes high, we tested higher, and then we came down and broke this candle's low. We didn't break above, so this would be like a 2-minute sell. So in this case, like, I would enter under the break of that low with a stop above that high. But I didn't want the 2-minute sell. I wanted a 5-minute sell to enter, which would be, I want us to break above this 5-minute candle's high first, and then I want us to fail that high and potentially put in some sort of inverted hammer. And then I would be open to entering on a break below that 5-minute sell. But we didn't get that, so that's why I didn't enter the shorts. And I still think they're valid underneath the opening print, underneath these levels. I think we could make a move lower today. I'm still open to it. I just didn't want to rush into it. Did you take a stop yet, Brian, or are you still in?
I'm still in. Nothing to look at the moment.
I like it. If this 5-minute gives us a little stab higher into this level from above, and then starts to reject and gives us that 5-minute sell, I think I may join you. But that's what I would need. I need this to test above, test this level here, and then start to reject this level, and then a break underneath this 5-minute low could get me into this trade.
I can't show one of my screens for the NAS 100 because it's not where I draw it up. It's not on Trade Locker. I have a key level in here though. You don't need to switch to my screen. I'm actually just thinking out loud almost.
No, you're good.
I'm like, my screen right now doesn't really show much of a reason to trade it other than a trend line. It's classic though. I mean, it broke through what would be my trend line and then pulled back up to it. To me, that would be a trend line kind of validation. It's going to bounce off of it and then keep going down. So it's kind of like, get it at a cheaper price while you can.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm starting to price out what it would be to enter.
I should probably set a stop loss. So even though I trade mostly gold, I still draw up. Sometimes I draw up charts on NAS and oil. I do trade some other stuff on other platforms. FunderPro has a nice low spread on gold, so it's attractive.
How much time? We got about 2 more minutes on this 5-minute candle. Don't dump yet. Give me a red inverted hammer close to enter on, baby. This 5-minute closes in an inverted hammer. I'm going to try a short with Brian on a break underneath this low. The stop above the high. What's that?
Come join me.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Who knows?
We missed on the futures chart. We missed the upper level by a tick, by 0.25. About a minute and a half to this candle close. Oh man, I don't hate the 2-minute for longs, depending on how it closes. I am a little torn, but the short's definitely valid. 2-minute sell just triggered.
This is cool. I've always listened to you execute your trades, but I've actually never just stopped and watched you execute your trade.
Yeah,
I'm usually monitoring gold so tight that.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. It's definitely like doing the stream, obviously, since we've been doing it for a few months now. It's like it can be tough when you guys are breaking down when you're looking at it. I'm trying to look what I'm looking at to like focus on everything, right? So sometimes you kind of gotta lock into your own charts. Okay, we got 20 seconds to this 5-minute candle close. Well, don't dump yet. At least close. We're like close like right at the low and then break below. We're right at yesterday's low too. Yesterday's New York low. All right, I need a break below this low, and I'm in with you. Doesn't break the low, no entry. I size it down to 0.04 if I do enter. Because it'll end up being with where my stop is. This levels though, it's still battling. Trigger above this 2-minute high gets me back thinking longs are off the table. But oh boy. We'll see. Sticking to my plan. No break below the 5-minute low. No entry yet.
Need to enlarge my screen. I want to see
The risk to reward on the 2 minutes, not bad under this 2-minute. So we're right at I'm looking at the 2-minute. It's potentially putting in a lower high. You could say 2-minute buy, stop under this low, but oh, this is why I'm staying patient, because I'm torn.
Well, I mean, it's on a trend reversal. It's not a trend reversal. It's a consolidation breakout.
Looks like it might enter me.
That's a weird way to put it. I know what you mean.
That's good. That was good. Grish said any future update possible in closed positions tab, like show only trades for selected period, rest all hidden. I think you can. Can't you select the date? I don't know on that. I'm not sure. Yeah, see, if you go summary, you can pick this week, this month. I guess you can't do custom, but
It's always interesting to hear other people's wants or needs for trading that don't coincide with yourself, because there's no one's wrong. Everybody has their way or what's important. Because I usually look at it like, why is that not important to me? What am I not seeing? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, I don't know if he's just trying to track his trades, maybe, and like to journal or whatever it may be. I'm not sure.
Boy, Naz is going nowhere. What's going on right now?
Yeah, I when I said in the first 15 minutes we had two 15-minute doji candles for the New York Open. I think I mentioned this, that my expectations were immediately lower for today, that I think we could be in for a rangy, choppy day. We got a pretty clean trend down yesterday. So overall, Naz has seen a lot of trending action, whether it's up or down. It's just been pretty volatile and trendy one way or the other. That a tighter range day isn't all that shocking to me, to be honest with you. I feel like it's been a minute since we've had a really annoying day, like in terms of a trend on Naz, and it was like kind of due for a really annoying day, which is, in my opinion, like tight chop and tight range is, oh my goodness, is it annoying. But we're definitely battling yesterday's low and these levels we have down here. Not giving up without a fight. Looking at some individual names. NVIDIA week. Apple's not. Apple's basically flat. Meta kind of weak again. I mean, the overall charts are still in uptrends, but intraday, all the individual names are looking kind of. Oh, I'm kind of liking the longs again. Definitely not in the shorts yet. Oh man, I would have liked the trigger here. I feel like I missed the entry now. But if we get back over the opening print, if we can set a potential High or low over the opening print? I don't know. Does the range, do we continue to stay in this box? Because this, so since pre-market, right, we had pre-market was kind of a slow grind up. So this was the end of the yesterday. So we need 18. So this is the overnight action starting right here. This is the overnight action. So we had to move up and then ranged all night. As we got close to pre-market, we had this strong dump down. And then we've basically been stuck in this box now for a while. And I wouldn't be surprised if this box at shop lasts for a while longer. Might be one of those days where you take longs every time you're near this low and highs every time you're near this high. Those are typically my worst kind of days, so stay impatient.
No guts, no glory.
Trying to keep my guts remained intact for once.
I see a question in the chat. How long you guys are into trading?
Doobie, I've been about 3 years. I think Brian's been closer to 10, maybe.
Yeah, but I always,
on and off. I think you've mentioned maybe.
Yeah, on and off again, but that was not Forex. So I have a lot more experience trading stocks. I like Forex. I just don't like some of the spreads sometimes. But yeah, for me, only about 12 months for Forex.
Tesla pretty flat.
Okay, I think NAS is just doing a grab.
I know. I thought the 2-minute was going to reject the opening print there, but it gave us a close above. It's a strong 5-minute, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just skeptical of today's price action in general. Like I said, I just don't get a good vibe that we get a huge break one way or the other.
Advice. Got any advice to give to the chat?
Let me look. One advice for us guys that you would like to suggest. I would say most of your work in trading to become a better trader is done outside of taking your actual trades. I think a lot of times when, I've been guilty of this myself, but, you always hear people talking about being prepared, whether it's, enough sleep, being at your desk on time, having a trading plan, sticking and following to that plan. Obviously keeping your risk managed, all these things, not over trading and all these things, and then journaling and reviewing your trade and seeing, different correlations and noting it and doing all that stuff, right? That's where most of your improvement will probably come, where most people wake up every day, sit down at the charts and try to fire off some trades to make money. If it goes well, they're like, great, that's exciting. Let's try to do it again tomorrow. If it doesn't go well, they're like, frustrated or mad or whatever it is. And they're like, all right, well, let's go move on with our day. But if you talk to any successful trader, like the real work is done when you're, it's like, oh, I had a losing day. Now I'm going to put in the work and review this trade, figure out what I did wrong. Was it a good trade that just failed? What else was happening in the market? You know, what was this showing? What was that showing? Was there any correlation there? Kind of reviewing those things and doing all that studying and diving in also. It comes outside of actually trading. So then when you are trading, you're just following your process. You're taking this trade. So be the person that's willing to put in the work, whether if it's a good day, think to yourself like, oh man, this feels really good. I want to feel this again. So let me put in the work. What did I do here that was right? What could I have done better? Dive into your trade, right? If it's a bad day, say, and you think, oh man, this sucks. So instead of just blowing it off, be like, okay, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to review this trade. I'm going to check out the market overall and all that kind of thing, right? So I would say that's probably a piece of advice I'd have for you. Listen to we talked about Lance on here before, Brian. About 2 months ago, Trillium put out a new interview with him and another one of their traders. And I'm about halfway through it. I think it's like 3 hours, but I was really enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I like that guy. My advice is you have to undo you. Trading can be such a mental game. To me, it's more of a mental game for beginners than anything. And I think people put way too much value in learning from YouTube videos. You have to be cautious there. I really think you have to tread with caution when you watch a lot of those how to trade videos. But
VKC Nagpur said your stream video quality is too low. Please fix it. I don't know. It looks clear to me. I got a 1080p webcam. Brian looks clear. I don't know. I don't know if it's the screen. Is it like blurry for everybody else, or
it can't be if you enlarge it too much, for sure.
Yeah, I mean the chart looks good on the preview. I can see. I'm considering entering shorts with you here, Brian. Are you still in them, or did you close?
I modified my position, so I am still in.
Modified my position. That feels like corporate speak for like either averaged in or something. I don't know. Ashton said looks clean on his side. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if it's your internet. It could we could potentially have laggy internet too. My internet went out a little bit earlier, but
another thing about trading, people underestimate the need for practice. Like you said, a lot of it comes away from the trading hours, or what you're doing on your own. And if you're going to be a professional baseball player, imagine how much practice you need to put into that. If you want to be a CPA, an accountant, go to college, get your degree, get certified and all that, imagine how much time that is. Some people want to jump into trading and treat it like you can do this overnight. You can watch a video over the weekend, hit it on Monday. And that's a very harsh way of learning reality by taking financial losses.
If I zoom in more, guys, does the chart look? Does that look any cleaner? Yeah, I mean, even
like kindergarten.
I know. I hate being this. I tried the short stab, Brian, with it. I got to stop above this 5-minute wick.
Yeah, that's why I went back into it. I exited the trades. I put them right back in because I saw that wick for me on that green candle right there. And there you go, right there. It lost its upward pull. So
back to the screen being blurry thing. I do agree with you guys in a sense. Like when I'm looking at the preview, like this, like the words over here, US 30 Pro, and I like these are all like kind of blurry. I don't know if there's a setting. I can mess with the settings in the screen share. I don't know why the screen share would give a blurry look though.
What about closing your markets panel on the right? Close that out.
Let me try that out.
So your chart enlarges, and then give them. Well, you need to see your position, but
no, I mean I'm not that. Not that big deal.
I don't know if that helps anybody.
Even like the numbers, like when I'm looking at the Trade Locker app, the price numbers all look really clear. But when I'm looking at the preview, they are. I mean, they're not like real blurry. they're a
Yeah.
little bit blurry. But I don't know how I would change those settings from a. I don't know if that's just like my screen share settings. I don't know. I'll look into it a little bit though.
But speaking of which, so what is your strike price? What is your
I'm
price?
in at, that's my stop loss. Entry 21,143.95. So 21,144 basically.
Okay,
And
so anybody who wants to copy trade Tyler,
my stop's at 21,208 ish. 0.06.
let's go. I need to flash over to gold.
Yeah, I mean this trade aligns with my system, I would say. I'm always a little skeptical because I'm just not a great short trader, but definitely valid. Like I've said several times here, though, my expectations are for sure low. Because yeah, you can buy as many challenges at the same time as you want. The only rule with that is you can't have more than 200K of live capital at a time. So, you could do two 100K accounts, or, you could do a bunch of 25K accounts, a bunch of 10K accounts. So yeah, you can do as many challenges as you want at a time. 200K capital is just the rule on that one. I wonder if there's a way to improve this screen share. I wouldn't think that has to do with the internet connection.
Possible.
Give us the breakdown, baby. My risk on this trade is $250, so a little bit more than the last one. I'm looking for a break to a new low. I'd like to see us break these lows. Below those lows, we definitely do have some room based off my hourly levels below. I don't know if we get all the way down there, but there's definitely some room below underneath our current low. Don't like how the 2-minute looks like it's starting to flip. You look at the 2-minute chart. We had this kind of move down, and we've now been making higher highs and higher lows. Now we just set a potential higher low here. So it looks like the 2-minute could be trying to flip its trend. Don't love that. It's a 15-minute close with a pretty decent upper wick. The 5 minutes got a pretty decent upper wick. So I'm gonna give it its room. But essentially, I'm short in the middle of the range. So it's not ideal.
Yeah, that was my biggest hang up on taking this trade, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you're going to bring that up, being in the middle
Yeah,
there.
well, yeah. So I've talked about. I marked the box a couple times. I've talked about how my expectations are low. We've been stuck in this range since pre-market now for a while. And I think I even said it might be one of those days where you buy the lows every time and sell the highs. And Brian, I think your original short entry, it was valid. I mean, essentially, you'd be playing a breakdown of the range, breaking the lows, which it very well could do. And it's valid. I mean, we got a little bit of a breakdown here in the 5 minute, and this rally didn't make it all the way back up to the highs. So it led me to think maybe we're getting a little bit weaker here, but as of right now, this range is looking like it's continuing. Got a fly flying around. All the indexes are pretty much ranging. None of them really stand out as stronger than the others.
question there on how we distinguish between breakouts and fakeouts. And execution techniques to minimize risk.
Yeah.
I'd say
Go ahead.
volume is one of the most basics. Genuine breakouts often come with increased volume. Lack of volume might indicate a fake out. That's kind of a very old-fashioned way.
Yeah, Sarky, the other thing I would kind of say is too, you'll hear people talk about like a break and retest. Because if you know, obviously the initial breakout or breakdown could be a fake out, but if you wait for it to break out, essentially then pull back, and then wait for, so like if you're thinking of a long trade, correct? So we're consolidating. In this instance, if we break above these highs, you then wait for a pullback that presents you with a potential higher low. And then that's when you get long, as opposed to buying, you know, here when it's like, oh, are we going to break out? Are we going to break out of this range? So if you buy here, well, maybe we just stick in the range and we fail back down. And if you buy as soon as we break out, maybe it's a fake out and we buy back down. But if you kind of wait for it to break out and then set a potential higher low, that then gives you, okay, maybe then the uptrend is now starting and you get in at the low of the uptrend. Doobie, I don't think there's any prop firms that allow option trading. I saw somewhere there was one sort of, I don't even know if I'd call them a prop firm, but you had to, like, you could deposit cash into a broker and they would give you a larger sum of cash to trade with than you actually gave. Like they'd give you a percentage of that. That would probably be the closest thing I've ever seen to that. Oh, it's looking like at least I'm going to get stopped here, Brian.
Yeah.
Vika said, what should be per trade risk plan for 100K swing account? Please, God, right now I have a 25K account and I have made 6% profit in 14 days. I mean, that's really good on a 25K account. You said a 100K swing account. Do you know the drawdown? What's the drawdown percentage, because on a swing account? Is it 7%? How much drawdown do you have? Remind me. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I can look it up if not. The opening print is the only thing saving us now, Brian. It has been built like a brick shit house, but we'll see. Can it do it again? Ashton Short. Yeah. We've been kind of seeing that correction. I think we do have some more room below. I just don't know if we get it today. Today's really feeling like a range day, but it also could be one of those days where it ranges the first 2-3 hours, and then we get kind of like an afternoon move one way or the other. It's 10%. Okay, so I mean, think about it. I don't know what your win percentage is on the 25K account, but obviously you made 6% in 14 days. Sounds like, you know, probably a pretty decent win percentage. But if you look at it this way, if you're risking 1% of 100K on every trade, you only get 10 trades if you go on a losing streak, right? So I personally think you should take like a percentage of the 10K. Even if you did, 5% of your 10K drawdown, that then gives you a lot more swings at bat, if you will, without blowing the account. Win rate 68%. Get that thing up 1%, Vic, because come on, what are you doing, bro? Ba-doom-sh. Yeah, I agree, Ashton. I think we're going to close kind of flat. I think that seems pretty likely based off of the first hour and a half of price action in New York. The breakdown is 100% a valid attempt. We had the bigger move down yesterday. The overnight action was a very small move up, mostly range. We failed to go higher pre-market. We made new lows pre-market, and now we're just consolidating around these lows. We 100% could see a breakdown. It's just it's a wait and see game at this point. If I buy 100K swing account, then I can trade during the news. Yes, you can trade during the news with the swing account. I think so. When you say trade during the news, I think you can hold positions through the news. I don't think you can like enter a trade. I think it still applies that you can't enter a trade within 2 minutes.
But you get
and I know
it.
like they want you to avoid like the bracket orders. I don't think you can do like the bracket order trades where you're putting a buy stop and a sell stop above and below during news. So you can hold through news. You can't like actively trade it. But gambling on the news result.
Gamble. I like that.
Come on, baby. That opening print. She's holding. Fail that opening print again. Fail that opening print again.
I don't know. This thing has upward momentum now.
Yeah, if you look at, I mean, everything is just really flat. If you look at, Thinkorswim has a features called Market Watch, just a heat map that shows you all of the different stocks within the indexes. And if they're red, they're like the bigger red, the brighter red they are. If they're, smaller red, it's like a dull red, vice versa for green, bright green, dull green. And it's just like a super mixed bag of dull reds and greens, and just another, it takes out any edge for any sort of trend day. If none of the individual names are moving in any direction, if they're all relatively flat, which based off of that gives you kind of an overview that they are, then the indexes aren't going to trend without any of the individual names trending. So this is going to be my last trade of the day. It either works or I get stopped. First trade, had a chance for some 2-to-1 profits. Didn't take them. Stopped at break even. No harm done. Looking like a stop, probably likely on this one for a $200 loss. It's like the Star Wars episode when she's like, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're our only hope." That's me to the NASDAQ opening print right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to answer that question. Of course, Sarky, no doubt. Watch for stop loss or TP hitting during the news when I hold so long. Yeah. Thing that may be annoying about this short, Brian, is like a sweep above these highs that then fails. I feel like could happen, but we kind of already did that. You know what I mean? Like we had this consolidation here, like failing to break out. All right, breakout. Oh, it was a fake breakdown, but then the breakdown doesn't get any follow through. So Sarky, this is a good back to your question, right? You could have very well, and it's why I held my trade, because I had a good entry on this one. My entry was down here on my long position. So when we had all these rejections, when we got this breakout, I thought it was going to be the breakout, which is why I held and didn't take any trims. But that was just the fake out, right? Just basically swept all the liquidity for if you were short, and then failed. Came down here, broke below. So I bet you a lot of people got, all right, we're going to break down now and get short like we did. And we're just stuck in this range. So today's one of those days that if you keep trying to if you keep trying to stab long or short, repeatedly thinking, all right, this is the breakout, this is the breakdown. Every new or beginner trader has had days where they've thought that all day long. Oh, it has to break down now. Oh, it has to break out now. And so you keep trying and try. Next thing you know, you paper cut yourself to death. which is why I don't want to sit here and do this back and forth all day, which is why I'm like, all right, this one's it. I didn't take the profits on the long. If the short doesn't work, I'm walking away for the day. I don't want to get stuck in chop.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me during the London session, earlier in the London session. I got chopped a few times, so I had to make all that back. It was relatively easy to make back because the market gave some pretty good trends on gold, but
yeah, I mean, that
fell for
go
a few
ahead,
of
go ahead. I
those.
mean, interrupt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is a whole lot of about what trading is, right? If you're trying to force stuff every day, it's really not the way to do it, because there are just days where the opportunity presents itself in such a better, a better manner, where instead of trying to sit here today and force it in either direction when just, it's just not there. And it's the best thing you can do is avoid that action. Now, like I said, you could sell the highs and buy the lows. The problem with that is, how do you know when it's going to be the range day, and how do you know when it's going to be the chop, or how do you know when it's going to be the trend? I mean, so the way I look at it is, I'm a trend trader. I'm going to try to stick. I got to stick to that. I got to stick to my trading style, my plan, because if one day I come in and I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be a range, I'm going to sell the highs and buy the lows. And so I sell the highs and we trend, it's going to drive me up a wall and saying that I missed the trend. So what I do is I try to just avoid the range days if I can, because it's impossible. I mean, it's tricky. But normally by the time you can tell, like, you're like, oh, it's a range day. It's like, oh, okay, well, you're an hour and a half, 2 hours in. You've taken 10 trades, like, and then it's like, oh, now it's really obvious that this is a range day. I should have just bought the lows and sold the highs. But normally by the time you realize that, you've normally taken enough paper cuts that it's tricky. At least what I've found in my experience.
For sure.
Now, if you are someone who likes trading at range, you just, you got to be just essentially think the opposite of me. You try to trade the range, and when you're wrong and it does trend, well, you took your stop and you're wrong that day. And maybe you have some things in place that help you identify ranges. That could be volume, lower volume, and that kind of thing. So volume's not really something I use very much. I think it's super valid. I think it's one of the most valid trading indicators, because volume is what moves the market. But I just try to keep it simple. Hey, that opening print, she's fighting for us, bro, guy.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
To add to what you said about the trading in the range, or just, what you said, once you've been trading in the range and you realize it's a range and it's been an hour and a half, and now you wish you hadn't done all that.
Yeah.
That's when I strongly believe in adding an indicator of some sort, a confluence of some sort that you have practice with, just to help guide you. I've learned that with a proper confluence, it would save me from entering at least 50% of just BS trades during a range. Even though I might take some, maybe it's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, but maybe that confluence is going to prevent me from taking the ups. Anything to help reduce some of that paper cutting that you mentioned.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If indicators serve a purpose, one of the best purposes that they do serve is helping you identify potential trends or ranges.
Yeah. It's another thing, they all lag, but it's another thing to look back on the mathematics of what just happened in the last 10 minutes, 1 hour, whatever. Definitely a helper. But if you have the experience with a particular indicator, a lot of people have more, I think they have more experience than they think with some indicators. It's just a matter of reading it correctly. Indicators tell you a lot more than their straight definition.
I like that 5-minute close. Come on, baby.
Your NAS is taking temporary downward grab. Don't you think it's going to shoot back up?
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that. Yeah. Like the 15-minute close, pretty strong. Close above the opening print, but immediately, we immediately got this failure again. See if it gets any follow through this time.
No kidding.
Starting to look a little better. If this 15-minute puts in an outside bar, I think we're looking pretty golden for a new low on the day.
How much do you see NAS keep running after, say, like London close? You know, when it's only New York, do you see it in your experience go strong, weaken a bunch?
I think a lot of times, like obviously it has its trend days, some days, right? But I think you definitely notice a lot of times that like you'll range even on the trend days, right? You normally get the bigger move in the first couple hours, followed by mostly sideways action. Then if you get a trend day, right? So you normally get a big move one way or the other. You'll get some sideways action, and then you'll get that breakout or breakdown kind of later in the day. You get some of that end of day volume that comes in. If you look at any volume indicator or history or whatever, you can very clearly see that most of the volume is within the first 15 minutes to 2 hours of the market open. The volume drastically slows down until like the last 1.5 2 hours of market close for New York. Whether you just say that's because it's the middle of the New York session, or I think London closes at 11 a.m. like right now, right? Did London just close, or is it 1 p.m.? When did they close?
I think they close, their stock exchange closes at 10:30 Central. Forex closes at 11 Central, so 11:30 your time.
Yeah,
Your
I think
Eastern.
that sounds right. I thought it was around. I thought London closed at like 11 or 11:30 my time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll always hear two schools of thought there. No, it closes on the half hour. No, it closes on the hour.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
because I think it's because in London the stock exchange opens at the same time the Forex session opens, and they close with a 30-minute differential. Where in the US it's an hour and
Yeah,
a half apart.
yeah, and even there's certain things too, like even in the futures market, like the futures market is open till 5 p.m. But like none of the futures prop firms let you keep trading. Like you have to have your trades all closed by 4. I don't like this 5-minute bounce off this lower level again. Just another sign of continued range. Bitcoin's also in an ugly range. Yeah, she ain't breaking down right now. It doesn't look like it. So we're only on for another few minutes before we wrap it up for today. Does anybody else have any questions before we do wrap it up? We'll be back on Friday. Okay. Come on, baby. If this 5-minute can close ugly, let's go. Give us an ugly close. Let's get a new low before 11:15. Let's end the stream on a new low on the day. It's not the greatest. Yeah, that looks hard. Everybody have a good holiday break.
I did.
Me too.
Very quiet holiday for me. I haven't had that in a while. It was nice.
Yeah, that does sound nice. Mine are still a
We
little busy. My kids are pretty young, and with all the grandparents on both sides and extended family, try to see everybody. It's always a little crazy.
that's sometimes stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
It can be fun. I think by the time it's over, it can wear you out.
Yeah, definitely.
We chose to do it low key this year, and even on Christmas Eve, we were just sitting out in the back patio having a beer,
Yeah,
just
nice.
listening to music. Yeah. Gold is pushing for a new short right now, a short opportunity. It's breaking below the 4-hour key level on a 3-candle variation on the 5-minute. And I went short on it.
I dig it. I dig it. A
But
little counter trend, but I know that I know you sniped these bad boys. It looks like it could definitely have a little pullback here.
yeah, it could. It'll have a tight stop loss. It's tried now 1, 2, 3. I'd say this is 4th time to give up knocking on the 4-hour key level, as you put it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back there again. Okay.
Yeah, and I believe what you said. And knock a few times, eventually it's going to get in.
Yeah. But it also could continue to knock
Yeah.
and get pullbacks off of that resistance. Obviously, it's shown that it's resistance that's holding for right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a key level zone where you should pay attention to price action. That's all. That's all it is.
Give me a 5-minute lower high here.
Naz. What's going on? What's going on with you, Naz?
It is ranging.
Naz already took my money today, so I won't trade it again until maybe March or April.
It is ranging tighter than some conjoined twins. That's what it's doing today. Well, gang, I'm gonna keep my stop in place here on NAS. So if you see us break above these highs here, you'll know your boy got stopped. If we break down to new lows, I'm gonna start taking some profits. But I think we're gonna wrap up the stream for today. Like I said, we'll be back on Friday, and appreciate all you guys tuning in.
Yep.
And a reminder to trade safe, and we'll see you guys all soon.
Be careful tomorrow. New York's closed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. It is day of
Yeah.
mourning for President Jimmy Carter, I believe.
Yeah. So it might
probably lower volume in the market overall
Yeah.
tomorrow. So just be aware of that if you're going to continue to trade. Forex is obviously still open, but stock market will be closed. So lower volume from the banks and investors and all that kind of thing. So I don't know. We may range today and tomorrow. We'll see.
I hope not.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.